All right, so this video is going to explain number 24, but also goes along with numbers 18 and 19. So I figure I'd do this problem maybe to help some confusion on those types of problems where it's a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. So if you take a look at 24, they want us to find the area of the shaded region. So what that means is that we're going to find the area of the entire thing and then subtract the area of the white. That's going to leave the leftover portion, which is the shaded region. So to set this up, it's going to be 5x plus 3, this binomial, multiplied by this trinomial. That's going to be the area of the big circle. So 5x plus 3 times x squared plus 4x minus 10. That's the area of the entire rectangle. Then we need to subtract the area of the little white portion in here. So subtract the area of the smaller one, which is 3x times 2x minus 1. Okay? All right, so let's work with the area of the entire thing first, and then we'll subtract the area of the second one. So the first term, 5x, let's change the color, 5x has to be multiplied by all three of these terms. So 5x times x squared is 5x cubed. 5x times 4x is 20x squared. And then 5x times negative 10 is negative 50x. So now the 5x is done. Now what we need to do is take 3 and multiply it by all three of those terms. So plus 3x squared plus 12x minus 30. Okay, so I've multiplied 5x by all three terms and then the 3 by all three terms. Now we just need to combine your like terms. So there's no other like term with the 5x cubed, so I'm just going to bring that down. Then you have 20x squared and 3x squared make 23x squared. Negative 50x plus 12x gives me negative 30, what does that give me? 38x. And then I have my last term in here, which is the negative 30. No other like term with that. So that's multiplying your binomial times the trinomial. So the first term, 5x by all three terms, and then the second term in the first binomial by all three terms. And then we'll just have to clean up by adding those together. All right, now let's take a look. I want to find the area of the smaller rectangle. So for this one, I'm going to take 3x and times it by 2x, and then 3x and times it by negative 1. So minus 3x times 2x gives me 6x squared. Don't forget, when you're multiplying with the same base, you add the exponents. And then 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. So that's the area of the smaller rectangle here. So I need to subtract that. So the negative has to go to both of my terms. All right, so I'm going to rewrite what I have for the area of the big rectangle. 5x cubed plus 23x squared minus 38x minus 30. Now, minus 6x squared and plus 3x, because the negative goes to both of these terms here. Now all the multiplying is done. The next is to combine your like terms. So nothing's a like term with that 5x cubed, so I'm going to bring that down. Then you have 23x squared minus 6x squared, which gives positive 17x squared. Then you have a negative 38x plus 3x gives negative 35x, and then minus 30. And that is going to be the area of the shaded region. So I took the area of the whole thing, the binomial times the trinomial, and subtracted the area of the smaller portion. This gives me the area of what is left over. Then for number 23, it says subtract this trinomial from this one. So this trinomial is the one that we're starting from, and then we subtract this one from that original one. So it's 5a squared minus 9ab plus 2b squared minus all of this one. So I have to put that in parentheses because there's more than one term, and since I'm subtracting all of the terms, that negative now has got to go to all three of those terms. So doing it here, the negative goes to a squared, the negative goes to negative 8ab, and the negative goes to 2b squared. So I'm going to rewrite that as 5a squared minus 9ab plus 2b squared minus a squared plus 8ab minus 2b squared. So now the multiplying is done with the negative. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. So I have 5a squared minus a squared gives me 4a squared. And I'm putting this in standard form, which means that you're going from highest power down to lowest power alphabetically. So I'm going to do all my a's, anything that has an a first. So that's going to be my first term is 4a squared. Then you have negative 9ab plus 8b gives me negative 1, or you can just write it as negative ab. And then we have 2b squared minus 2b squared actually just cancels. And this becomes final answer.